So we could be seeing a $70 quant very soon. We've been talking about it ever since last year. In fact, we've been talking about it since November of last year. And right now we are sitting at a price below $100 after, of course, everything that's been coming out of the SEC, going off the exchanges. There's been a lot of fear in the current market. We're currently sitting at the 41 level when it comes to the fear and greed index. And right now there's been big sell-offs. There isn't much of a push to be buying crypto. And at the moment, in my opinion, and when I say at the moment, I mean with this current market condition, over the next couple weeks, months, I believe it's going to be the best time to be accumulating these cryptos, and in my opinion it's going to be one of the last opportunities to be accumulating, because I feel like in these coming years we're going to have the big players, and by big players I literally mean the banks, the institutions, the governments are going to come and scoop up a lot of these coins. And a bit how they treat stocks, they're going to start treating a lot of these cryptocurrencies, and we're seeing it already, right? We're seeing BlackRock, we're seeing a lot of these exchanges buying coins like Bitcoin, of course, Ethereum, and Quant as well, and a lot of other cryptocurrencies. And we're going to start seeing that very soon. It's going to get to the point where the market cap will be so high we won't have the chance to be buying these cryptos at such low prices. And I know this, and right now this $1 billion market cap that Quant is sitting at is absolutely ridiculous, right? It's absolutely nothing if you compare what problem they're actually fixing, right? I just want to keep that clear. But in this video we are going to be going through everything you need to know in regards on the latest on Quant, and also my price prediction for this current market, right? Where I think it's going to be heading, the bottom, where the bottom is going to be for Quant. I'll be telling you my opinion in this video. And if you do not want to miss any further updates on Quant, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now we're getting straight in, right? Quant at the moment sitting at $98. We've been talking about Quant going down to $70 ever since this high. We've been talking about it for a while. Actually, at the end of last year, around November and December, is when we really started going at it. It reached $150 after we talked about it, but I did say around Q2 to Q3 or even Q1 of 2023, right? I said sometime in 2023 we are going to be seeing a $70 Quant, and I do believe we're getting closer to that. And when it gets to that $70 to $50 point, there is not, I can't see it going below $50. There is too much of a buy pressure if it does, and there's also such a low supply that I feel like it will get pushed up pretty fast. So $50 is kind of, in my opinion, impossible, and even if it does, it'll be there for a second, right? Like, I'll be scooping up a lot of Quant if it gets to $50. That's an insane price. But starting off with the first clip I want to go through, it just shows what the Quant overledger will be fixing. Such a big problem that it's going to be fixing to take blockchain adoption, mass adoption to the next level. I'm going to play this video for you guys, and you can let me know on your thoughts down in the comment section down below.
Make all this happen, and to get us to mass adoption, we also need technology enablers, right? Those need to be put in place. So oracles, bridges, zero knowledge proofs, blockchain-based, decentralized identities, but also smart legal contracts. And I'm talking here about the next innovation in contracts, contracts 2.0, SLCs, which we think will use DLT because of the many advantages it has. And actually in our report, we interviewed some experts, and they believe SLCs could provide a whole new set of rails for global commerce and finance to run on. And finally, also any regulatory barriers will need to be removed. And talking about blockchain and DLT specifically, it's very interesting when you think about the developments that just happened in Europe on the 23rd of March with the European Union launching the DLT pilot regime for financial market infrastructures, thus creating a very bespoke regulatory sandbox for DLT. And also just yesterday, the FCA announcing here at IFGS the permanent digital sandbox. So it will be very interesting to see to what degree rules are changed or tweaked or adopted or not to accommodate DLT in the future. Make all this.
Now, this is where Quant comes in, right? Because that's quite literally what they are. The Quant overledger is simply a dream for a lot of these, I would say, new currencies that are coming around. A lot of these companies that are trying to build on Web3, trying to build on the blockchain. This is literally solving such a big problem. It's also solving a problem that really I feel like should have been solved a while ago. Quant is obviously not the only one. There's obviously other blockchains and other cryptocurrencies, other Web3 companies that are tackling this problem as well. But Quant, in my opinion, is definitely leading it, and it's also got, in my opinion, the most assurance. I feel the most safe buying Quant, not only because of his regulatory compliance with a lot of nations, but also the fact that I say regulatory compliance, at the same time it's not 100% like in the US. From my understanding, they're not 100% they're not regulated at all, in my opinion. I might be wrong. Correct me in the comment section down below if that's the case. But I do feel like Quant at the moment is got to that point where I do feel like it's going to start getting regulated, as you know, we're seeing all these altcoins and all these cryptocurrencies being treated as securities, as we've seen from the SEC just a couple of days ago in the Binance lawsuit. Quant wasn't mentioned, but I do feel like Quant is one of those currencies. Of course, the founder literally worked within the government, right? He worked as I completely forgot, in the Bank of England, sorry. He worked in the Bank of England. He worked with some really high profile people. And I do feel like it is likely that Quant will get regulated. It's already regulated in the UK. If I'm not mistaken, I am going to be making sure for the next video, but I'm pretty sure I've read that somewhere. So in my opinion, that's just a big deal. It's a technology that is innovating, that's going to be fixing a massive problem, which obviously is going to allow a lot of these new companies, a lot of these banks, a lot of these central CBDCs being able to use all the blockchain instead of relying on one. They'll be able to utilize all blockchains, and they will need to be holding Quant tokens to actually do that. Massive deal, right? Now moving on to the next tweet. This is a price prediction from No BS Crypto. If you guys have been watching crypto content on YouTube, I'm sure you guys have heard of No BS Crypto. I've been watching him for a while. Now, the current price of Quant is $98. The 2025 minimum he expects it to do is 17x, $1,680 per token. Now, if the token does reach the $70 that I have mentioned, that is going to be around a 25x, right? If it does go down to that $70 mark. This is what I'm saying. But even then, this is the minimum. I don't think he'll do a 17x. I think he will do way more. Like this $150 billion market cap, even then, in my opinion, it's undervalued if you look at what problem this is solving, right? It is solving one of the biggest problems, well, other than regulation and scams and so on, it's definitely solving one of the biggest problems for mass adoption. It definitely is, right? But in my opinion, in my honest opinion, I do think 100x is going to be way too much to ask for by 2025, but I do feel like a 30x, it's, in my opinion, again, not financial advice, guys, please do your own research, just my opinion, I do think a 20-30x is really realistic. Now moving on to the next tweet here, this is what the QNT token plays such an important role in the Quant network ecosystem. And this is a clip taken out of the LCX interview. This is the founder and CEO of LCX, the first regulated crypto exchange, and of course Gilbert Verdian, the founder of Quant.
How many QNT are needed to hold up to put up a gateway? How does it work?
Yes, so we've done it in a different way and fixed it to a dollar value, just because of the fluctuations. You can't prices fluctuate, as we've all seen in the markets today. And so what is going to be released when the Overledger network is released is the pricing and how much you have to put up and stake for licenses, and then the transaction fees, and then how much you have to put into the payment channels and pre-fund or whatever. So all of that will be, if it's like, let's just pick a number, if it's like $100, then it'll be $100 worth of QNT. If that means it's 1 QNT or 0.1 QNT or 1,000 QNT, it'll stay the same dollar value to keep it consistent and easy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're confused on what this QNT, why would anyone want to spend QNT in this case? Well, for a lot of these companies, a lot of these banks, and a lot of these financial institutions that are going to be wanting to use the Quant Overledger, they will actually be needing to hold Quant, right? Now, the pricing, I'm not exactly sure, but they will need to be holding a certain dollar amount of QNT tokens, whether that's $10,000 worth of QNT, 100,000, not sure. But you can imagine, lot of companies, lot of banks, lot of central bank digital currencies are going to need something like the Quant Overledger, right? If they want to be building on the future of finance, that's literally what it is, right? CBDCs are going to be built on the blockchain, and with Overledger, like the Quant Overledger, you're going to be able to utilize all these blockchains easily. Now, yes, you will have to be holding a certain amount of Quant tokens just to be able to utilize it. And that's not just buy, you need to be holding it. So a lot of these new companies and a lot of these banks that are going to be wanting to build on the blockchain, Quant will be one of the go-tos, to be honest, in my opinion. And if you look at the facts out here, the stats as well, I do feel like it's just kind of inevitable that Quant is going to be one of the top choices. You're going to be having to buy and hold Quant tokens. So the buy pressure, especially for when this transition takes place, it's going to be massive. It is definitely a long-term play, even though we're going to see massive price swings, in my opinion, in the short term. However, again, the $70 Quant right now, which I am aiming for, which I think it will reach, right? And when it does, boy, I'm going to be buying up a lot of Quant. But even then, on the days we see red, like today and tomorrow, or like the day after, whenever the next red day comes, when we see big dips like this, I do think it will be definitely a good time to be looking to accumulate more QNT tokens. But that does bring us to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, leave it a like, subscribe to the Crypto Maxi channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our further updates. It's been your boy Taf. I'll see you guys next time, guys. Take care and peace.